is Gareth Dyke, and in this short presentation we're going to have a look at Google Scholar, which of course is one of the main tools for networking and maintaining a research profile that international researchers use. So to do this, we're going to have a look at my Google Scholar account. So on the screen here to the side, you can see I'm ready to search in Google Scholar for my own name. So if I click on my own name, you can see here's the search profile that comes up, and we're going to go in and have a look at my Google Scholar account. You can see here some basic information about me, university where I'm based, and the number of citations that I have. But let's go in and have a look at the account itself. Now, it's well worth thinking about starting and getting a Google Scholar account set up if you don't have one, because as with some of the other tools that we've looked at in this series, ORCID, for example, this is a great way to maintain your publication list and maintain your CV, your resume, without really having to do anything. Here's my Google Scholar account. Basically, you can see here on this side of the screen, we'll just scroll over so you can see all of it. You can see the link there at the top of the screen. And let me tell you that in the 10 years or more that I've had this Google Scholar account linked to my Gmail account and linked to my university account, here you can see my verified email at the University of Debrecen in Hungary. I have done almost nothing to maintain this account. All of the publications, all of the outputs have been uploaded by Google Scholar automatically into the list, and all of the data here is actually very useful, not just for me, but also for other colleagues who may want to learn about me or about my research. I used to sit on hiring committees at my previous university, and let me tell you that one of the first things we did when we got an application from a candidate for a job or a postdoc position or a PhD even was to go and look at their Google Scholar profile, because it really does provide a quick way for colleagues, for other people interested in your background to find out about your research. So here you can see the citations and my publications, and these are automatically ordered in the system. There's a terrible photograph of me from a few years ago, but these citations are automatically ordered in the system according to citations, right? So go and have a look at some of the profiles maybe of your professors or some of your other colleagues, and you'll see this kind of thing. So you can see immediately my highest cited article actually comes from 2004. You can get some information from that about how old I am. So there you go. Sorry about that. And you can see in the graph on the right hand side of the screen how my citations have changed over time. From 2013 up to 2020, I have an H index here you can see of 39, which is interesting. What that means is that I've published 39 papers in my career that have been cited at least 39 times. The H index, very common metric for assessing researcher output. Many universities, funding agencies look at this. It's quite controversial. You've probably heard about it if you're active researcher interested in rankings, but this means that even though I've published 280 papers, something like that, in my career, 39 of them have been cited at least 39 times. So it takes the maximum number of publications in your track record and looks at their maximum averaged citations. So somebody with an H index of 1 can have published 10,000 papers, but that just means that one of their papers has been cited at least once, and that's the maximum number of citations that they have spread across their publication record, if that makes sense to you. So somebody with an H index of 200 can have published 200 papers or can have published 2,000 papers, but 200 of them have 200 citations. So the maximum number of papers and the highest citations spread across that range. It's interesting to see. You can have a look here at what's happened since 2015. You can see that more than half, or round about half, of my citations as a researcher have been since 2015, and my total citations tracked by Google Scholar, 5,216. And you can look, if you set up a Google Scholar account and then wait for a few days and log back in, you'll start to see that the system is assembling your publication track record. Again, using standard databases, Scopus, Crossref, all the rest of it. There, it's automatically searching for your publications. And you can, of course, do a number of things. You can change the year. So now it's given you my citations ranked according to their year of publication. You can see in 2020 I've published 2 articles so far, one in the Journal of Structural Biology. This one, I'm proud of it because actually it's my first and only article published with my father. So there you go, J.M. Dyke and G. Dyke on the same paper, first time for everything. Anyway, 2 papers in 2020, a number of papers in 2019, and you can see how many other citations they have garnered. And that's useful information if you're keeping track of your record as a researcher. Down here on the right hand side, co-authors. So it will automatically upload your co-authors, and you can see here that I have a number of co-authors. If they have Google Scholar accounts, if they maintain them, you can see usually people upload a little photograph or a number of examples here of colleagues that don't maintain their Google Scholar accounts. So a useful tool, very easy to use. You have to do almost nothing to keep this updated. The system does it all for you, and it's very widely used internationally, especially by people who want to gain a quick impression of you and a quick impression of your research. So recommended to have a look at Google Scholar, recommended to set up a Google Scholar account if you haven't done so already. At least it will give you some reliable information about your research track record. Thanks very much for listening.